Some leaders inspire, others manipulate. But few in history have used dark psychology as effectively as Adolf Hitler. He took a broken nation and turned it into a war machine. He didn't just seize power, he controlled minds. Through propaganda, fear, and manipulation, he convinced millions to follow him, no matter the cost. Today, we break down how Hitler used dark psychology to rise to power. 1. The power of the spoken word, hypnotizing a nation. Hitler wasn't just a politician, he was a master orator. He used a technique called emotional escalation, starting his speeches slowly, then building intensity until the crowd was completely under his spell. He repeated simple phrases over and over, making his ideas stick in people's minds. He didn't just speak. He performed using dramatic pauses, body language, and voice control to make every word feel like truth. Control the words, and you control the people. 2. The scapegoat strategy, creating a common enemy. When people are afraid or struggling, they look for someone to blame. Hitler gave them that. He convinced Germans that their problems weren't because of economic failure or war debt, but because of outsiders, enemies within, and traitors to the nation. By redirecting anger away from the government and onto a scapegoat, he united people under his control. When people fear an enemy, they will follow anyone who promises to destroy it. 3. Mass propaganda, controlling the narrative. Hitler's greatest weapon wasn't the military, it was propaganda. He controlled the newspapers, the radio, the schools, and even films. He understood that if people heard something enough times, they would believe it, even if it wasn't true. By flooding Germany with his version of reality, he silenced opposition and turned lies into national beliefs. A lie repeated enough times becomes the truth. 4. Psychological terror. Fear as a tool of control. Fear was another weapon. The Gestapo and SS turned neighbors against each other. People were too afraid to speak out because anyone, friends, family, even children, could report them. This fear kept the population in line. Nobody had to see violence firsthand. The possibility of punishment was enough to force obedience. The greatest prisons don't have walls. They exist in the mind. 5. The downfall. The limits of manipulation. But even dark psychology has limits. As the war turned against him, Hitler refused to listen to reason. His manipulative tactics no longer worked on reality. His paranoia grew, his trust in his own people crumbled, and his empire collapsed. In the end, the master manipulator became a prisoner of his own delusions. Control can build an empire, but delusion